In April 2025, I was seated on my couch contemplating if I should dye my hair black or not. Mind you, this is not the first time I'm doing this. When I joined high school, I realized that most, if not all girls, had black hair compared to my hair, which was brown. By the time I was seated on my couch, it had been over 5 years dyeing my hair consistently. But this time, it was different. As I sat there, I started asking myself some questions. And what started as a simple hair decision turned into a journey of self-discovery, comparison, and identity. Hello, I'm Winnie Marita. Welcome back to Your Mind is the Limit community. This is a space where we help you move from mental limitation to mental liberty by having conversations on how to break limiting beliefs, build a strong mindset, understand yourself on a deeper level, and become the best version of yourself from the inside out. In today's video, I'm going to share my journey with comparison and how I have been learning to overcome it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Back to the story. When I was seated on that couch, some of the questions that I asked myself were, why don't I love my natural brown hair? And for how long will I continue dyeing my hair black? As I was asking myself these questions, a scripture that came to mind was Jeremiah 1:5, which says, "For I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb." As I started meditating on this scripture, my understanding was God intentionally put everything together about me. That includes the parents that would give birth to me, the complexion of my skin, and even the color of my hair. There was no need for me to change anything about myself. And from that day henceforth, I have never dyed my hair black again, because I decided that I'm going to love myself the way God created me. Maybe in your case, it's not hair. It could be something else that you're struggling with, something that you constantly compare yourself with other people. When we look at when you don't know who you are, you will always admire other people and their lives because you haven't come to the realization of who you are and what you have. You begin to look at other people as the standard and thinking they have a better life, better lifestyle, or better personality compared to yours. Sometimes we place our identity on things like beauty, personality, career, how much you earn, and other external things. So when a friend, for instance, starts earning more than you, your identity gets a hit because your sense of worth is unstable. Therefore, it is easy for you to be triggered by other people's success. One of the mindset shifts that has really helped me, especially when I catch myself comparing myself to someone else, is thinking of a fish and a bird, let's say an eagle. How can you start comparing them? A fish thrives in water, while an eagle soars in the sky. Imagine judging a fish because it cannot fly, or judging a bird because it cannot swim. That comparison would not make sense because they are created differently and for different purpose. That is what we often do. We compare ourselves with people who are in a totally different path. They are equipped differently. They have a different purpose in life. So when I think like that, there's no way I can compare myself with someone else. That is why understanding yourself is very important, because having a grounded identity helps you remain stable. The second thing is not accepting who you are. And I think this is something that not so many people talk about it, because it is one thing to know who you are, and it is a totally different thing to embrace and accept who you are. Using my hair story as an example, I knew that I had a natural brown hair, but instead of accepting it, I went ahead and dyed it black for over 5 years. It wasn't until I accepted my natural hair that transformation happened, because awareness without acceptance changes nothing. One of the most unfortunate things about not accepting who you are is that you will never truly discover your true potential. You will always look for fulfillment, validation, and purpose outside yourself, not realizing that everything you're looking for is within you. Some of us say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. But most people have not come to the full revelation of what that truly means. Because if you understood that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, the first thing is that you will not compare yourself with other people because you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are unique. And the second thing is that you will not feel the need to alter how you look because you are content with who you are. And the truth is, accepting yourself takes time. So while you are on that journey of accepting different areas of your life, extend grace to yourself. The third thing is lack of purpose. Purpose is a very broad topic and I'm not about to get into it, but in simple terms, purpose gives you a sense of direction. Without that sense of direction, today you might want to be like person A. Tomorrow you've shifted, you want to be like person B. That is why employment is not for everyone and business is not also for everyone because we are created differently and equipped to do different things. So it is upon you to sit with yourself and understand what you gravitate towards naturally. The fourth one is personality type. When you look at the theory of temperament, we have sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. In the book Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson, he categorizes these personalities into 4 colors. The first one is red, which is equivalent to choleric. The second one is green, which is equivalent to phlegmatic. The third one is yellow, which is equivalent to sanguine, and the fourth one is melancholic, which is equivalent to blue. Among the 4 personalities, the red, which is equivalent to choleric, tends to thrive in competition. These are people who are naturally driven by results, progress, and achievement. Life can easily start to feel like a scoreboard. Now, my personality combo is half blue, a quarter red, and a quarter green. That means I have some attributes of choleric personality, which sometimes, if I'm not careful, I can easily find myself competing with other people. And when you constantly measure yourself against other people, you can easily find yourself in a trap of comparison. Since this is a natural attribute of choleric personality, you have to be constantly aware of it and redirect it in the right direction. Some of the things that I do is that when I want to compare myself to other people, I instead look for inspiration in what they're doing and how I can improve myself. Instead of wanting to overtake them, I ask myself, how can I learn from what they're doing and how can I improve myself using the inspiration that I've gotten, but not necessarily copying whatever they're doing. Something else that I do is remind myself of my identity and embracing the fact that I am not in competition with anyone. Again, how can a bird compete with a fish? Now that we've talked about all these things, some of the practical ways you can overcome comparison is number 1, knowing God and understanding His character. One of the things that I've come to realize is that the more I know God, the more I understand myself better. And the more I realize that God has enough for all of us. So when your friend or when your colleague is blessed, it does not take anything away from you, because God has enough for all of us. The second thing is gratitude and contentment. Be intentional about being grateful for who you are and what you already have, because gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already working or what you already have in your life. And contentment does not mean you stop growing. It simply means you stop feeling incomplete just because someone else is ahead in a certain area of their life. Everywhere you go, you'll have 2 categories of people. The first category are people who are above you. These are people who are earning more or they have a better standard of living. On the flip side, there is the second category of people who are below you, and I use quote unquote. These are people who earn less or they have a lower standard of living compared to yourself, and you will always feel the temptation to compare yourself with either category, but don't. Because if you compare yourself with the people who are here, you will always feel less enough, less successful, less everything. On the other side, if you compare yourself with people who are here, you will feel like you've made it in life, you have enough, you're better than so and so. But in actual sense, you have not even scratched the surface of your potential. So follow your unique path and thrive to be better than you were yesterday. Nobody is in the same situation that you're in. Nobody has the skill sets that you have. Nobody has the experiences that you've been through, and nobody is like you. So be content with who you are and celebrate yourself for both small and big wins. I hope this video has shed some light on comparison, and if you've watched this video to this point, I am sure your mind has been challenged and the beliefs that you have around comparison. I hope from today henceforth you will love yourself more, accept who you are, and embrace every part of your being. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it added value to you, subscribe and become a part of this amazing community of Your Mind is the Limit. See you in the next episode.